Welcome back to the channel. If you haven't heard by now, Johnny Depp has won his defamation case against Amber Heard in the United States. She had a counterclaim against him, and most of that was unsuccessful, bar for one part of it. Johnny Depp originally sued Amber Heard for $50 million, and she countersued for $100 million. The jury deciding the case on behalf of the court awarded Johnny Depp $15 million. Comprising of $10 million in compensatory damages, which is damages to compensate the person for the damage that they see has been caused, and an additional $5 million in punitive damages. Punitive damages is designed to punish the party that has done something wrong. Although in accordance with the state's legal limits, this has been capped to $350,000. So the total amount to Johnny Depp is $10.35 million. And the amount awarded in favour of Amber Heard is $2 million. That, in our view, on the panel that I joined with Legal Bites just an hour or so ago, we collectively believe that that is because this one count that she was successful on, the statement was so detailed and specific that the jury found in her favour for that particular element. However, ultimately, of course, it is in Johnny Depp's favour with a net sum of some $8.35 million. The way this works, however, as I understand it, is that he will have to pay over the $2 million in whatever form that he will prefer, and vice versa. She will have to pay the $10.35 million over to him. Now, many people have raised the question, what does this say about the UK trial that many people were familiar with, about broadly the same issues? And the follow-up question, of course, is will this jury decision have any impact on the UK decision? And the short answer to that is no, for many reasons. First of all, the appeals process was exhausted for the UK case. Secondly, it was about different articles. The UK case was about an article published in The Sun. These were about an op-ed and other pieces. And fairly significantly, the defendants were different parties in the UK case. It was Dan Wootton as the executive editor and News Group Newspapers Limited, of course, which was publishing The Sun. So different defendants, because in the United States case, Amber Heard herself was the defendant in the claim, and thus all of what they call discovery, which is what we call disclosure, was all available to Johnny Depp in the United States trial. So in my view, allowed them to hear all of the evidence and all in the open and have a full trial on all of the issues without Amber Heard being able to sort of restrict or exclude any of the evidence coming before the court, and in the case of the US trial, to be heard by the jury. Now, many people have asked the question, why is it being heard by a jury in the United States and it was only by a judge in the United Kingdom? Good question, because in fact, Section 11 of the Defamation Act 2013, which currently codifies defamation law in the UK, which was originally simply common law, but has transitioned a couple of times now and now rests in the Defamation Act of 2013. Section 11 provides that the trial is to be without a jury unless the court orders otherwise. Now, in my view, with a case of such magnitude and such publicity, I feel that this would have been much better placed before a jury to avoid any of the speculations about potential bias or perceived bias in the UK decision. If it was heard by a jury, as criminal trials are and as inquests are heard, then it does somewhat remove this idea that any one person can be biased, because after all, you have a jury, and to convince the entire jury on a unanimous verdict, it does somewhat remove that idea that there's any kind of bias there. However, I will be doing a full detailed video on the UK case, both for all of you guys in the United Kingdom and for all of my new American followers who subscribe to me thanks to my guest appearances on Law Bites. So thank you all for coming over to subscribe to me here. I will do a thorough video on the UK case for you here so you can hear about that and more of the comparisons between the law in the UK and the United States. I've grown very fond of comparing the differences. I'm sure all of you in the United States will, and all of you watching in the United Kingdom will as well. But lots of you have asked me for a personal opinion on this case. Now, I have opinions in two different ways. I have an opinion for something that I want to happen and an opinion as to what I believe will happen based on the law and the evidence that I've heard. Now, I've considered the judgment in the UK very carefully, and I've been following the evidence very carefully in the United States. And any of you that have heard my opinion on the evidence in the US trial, I had previously said that I felt it was overwhelmingly in favour of Johnny Depp. And the jury's verdict today, which many are now referring to affectionately as Verdict Day, has proven that to be correct. It was overwhelmingly in Johnny Depp's favour, save for that one count, because that one piece was particularly detailed, which they found in favour of Amber. How do I personally feel about it? Well, I have to be honest. I am pleased because I personally believed the story from Johnny Depp, not just from what he said, but from considering the evidence. So that's sort of a contradiction in terms. I do consider it based on the evidence and what I think legally. And I also think of it, well, based on the evidence and what do I think and what do I want to happen. And so personally, I'm very pleased with the decision. I am happy for him. And I feel that this was the ultimate truth, which has taken so long and has been so difficult for so many people to really thrash out all of the issues, all of the evidence, and finally bring it all out in court. So with that said, I'm going to leave you with a statement issued by Johnny Depp just a few moments after the verdict. It reads as follows. 6 years ago, my life, the life of my children, the lives of those closest to me, and also the lives of the people who for many, many years have supported and believed in me were forever changed. All in the blink of an eye. False, very serious and criminal allegations were levied at me via the media, which triggered an endless barrage of hateful content, although no charges were ever brought against me. It had already travelled around the world twice within a nanosecond and had a seismic impact on my life and my career. And 6 years later, the jury gave me my life back. I am truly humbled. My decision to pursue this case, knowing very well the height of the legal hurdles that I would be facing and the inevitable worldwide spectacle into my life, was only made after considerable thought. From the very beginning, the goal of bringing this case was to reveal the truth, regardless of the outcome. Speaking the truth was something that I owed to my children and to all those who have remained steadfast in their support of me. I feel at peace knowing I've finally accomplished that. I am and have been overwhelmed by the outpouring of love and the colossal support and kindness from around the world. I hope that my quest to have the truth be told will have helped others, men or women, who have found themselves in my situation, and that those supporting them never give up. I also hope that the position will now return to innocent until proven guilty, both within the courts and in the media. I wish to acknowledge the noble work of the judge, the jurors, the court staff, and the sheriffs who have sacrificed their own time to get to this point, and my diligent and unwavering legal team who did an extraordinary job in helping me to share the truth. The best is yet to come, and a new chapter has finally begun. Veritas numquam perit. Truth never perishes. Johnny Depp.